Hello guys, welcome to Digital Dojo once again. In this video, which is the second course of Python, we're going to be doing conditionals. Let's get started. We're going to go ahead and make a new file called, let's say, conditionals.py. So yeah, here we have our new window with the coding screen. So before we start, we're just going to look at some signs that we use that we're going to be using today and afterwards in Python. So this is the greater than sign, as we all know. This, and then there's this sign which means greater than or equal to. So if a number is greater than, if you want to check if a number is either equal to or greater than, and then of course there's a lesser than sign and the lesser than or equal to sign. Then there's a not equal to sign, which is exclamation mark followed by equal to, and last but one of the most important is a double equal to sign. So now what he'll be asking me, what's the difference between a double equal sign and a single equal sign. So a single equal sign that we normally use to make variables is used to assign a value, but double equal to sign is just used to check if they are actually equal. Doesn't matter what's the value, if they're equal then it works. So let us get started. We're gonna name a variable called x, and let's say, let's ask the user what's x. So we're going to be asking the user what's x, and then I'm going to go ahead and ask what's y. So let's copy paste this code and type out what's y. Now if x is in fact greater than y, then we want, so this is the if statement. Now what is the if statement? If statement, pretty self-explanatory. It checks if something particular is happening, it will run the code that we put below it. So suppose, so here I'm going to be asking if x is in fact greater than, we're not going to check equal to for now, if greater than y, then, so there's something called indentation in Python. Indentation is a way of organizing your code. It's one of the good things of Python, which some programming languages do not have. So after if, you can enter a tab or four spaces. So after this if statement, you gotta put a colon. If you press enter, you can see automatically four spaces are left. If they are not, then you can press tab or put in four spaces, because then only the code will be run under the if statement. We're gonna go ahead and print x is greater than y. Now we can go ahead and copy paste this code, and suppose we want to make now if x is less than y, print that x is lesser than y. Go ahead and make one more, and this time I'm going to name it x equal to y. So again, we're not going to be using a single equal sign, but rather a double equal sign, because we don't want to assign, we want to check. So we're going to go ahead and this time print out x is in fact equal to y. So this is what we have till now. Let's try running this code and check if there are any errors. And let's, what's x? X is 5. What's y? Y is 4. X is greater than y. Let's start again. X is 7 this time and y is 8. X is lesser than y. Let's try one with the equal to 3, 3, and x is in fact equal to y. So now what if instead of this command, just think about it, if a number is not equal to, is greater than another number, or is lesser than a number, so we're checking both of these things. So why do we really need an if statement for this last thing? Instead of this, you can just use an else statement. Now what is the else statement in Python? If these things are not working or these things are not satisfied, then you're going to go ahead with else, and else just checks all the remaining things. So the only thing remaining here is in fact s is equal to y. So let's try it out. What's x? X is 7. Let's go with y is 7, and x is equal to y because that's the only thing which is not satisfied. Now there's one more thing of Python called elif. So what is elif? Elif is basically just a conjunction, as you can see, of else and elif. Now what does elif do is, now what elif does is, elif, if you type in two ifs, it just checks it two times. But elif, it checks it only if the if statement is not satisfied. So if the if statement is satisfied, then it's not going to be checking for elif. But if you just type in two ifs, then both the statements will be checked. So we're not getting any difference right now in this code, but later on we have to use elif for many of our programs. Let's go ahead and try this out. Oh, what's x? X is 7, and y is 6. So x is greater than y. Let's Okay. So the code, as you can see, the code is still working. We can shorten this code even more. Suppose we can say if x is equal to y, or x is less than y, then we can go ahead and print x is not equal to y. X is not equal to y. Let's go ahead and try this out. X5, 6. Wait a minute. This something x. Oh, we did not. We used the wrong functions. Let's try it out again. X is 6. Let's try it out. Run this code. What's x? X is 6. X is 6. Y is 5. And x is not equal to y. You can interchange the code if you want. So we can go ahead and type equal to y, and we can change this to equal to, and this has not equal to. So both these ways will be working. You can try any one. What's x? 4. X is 4. So we're gonna go ahead and type x is 4 and y is 5. So x is not equal to 5. Okay, so this is about the conditionals. Now let's go ahead and make a program using conditionals. So we're gonna be checking the grades. So suppose, let's type in user. This is just the name of the variable. Int input. Enter your grades. So I'm gonna go ahead, enter your grades. If score is lesser or equal to 90 and less, and score is lesser or equal to 100, print A. So what's going to be happening here? So we're just going to name the score instead of user. So if the score is lesser than 90 and equal to 100, print A. Now you can see here, this some we do not in fact need this, so we can remove it. So in Python, you should often look at ways to try and shorten your code, because it really makes it look better. So we're gonna go ahead and type 80 this time, and traditional scoring system is what I'm gonna follow. B, and if. So now you see elif is really important here, because if you gonna be doing if, then it will be, suppose you got a 92, you enter 92. Now that's gonna be more than 90. That's also gonna be more than 80. So it's gonna print A, B, C, D, and everything else. So that is why I use the elif function. The score is greater than 70, then you'll be getting a C. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same for 60. elif score is equal to 60, greater than or equal to 60, print the. Now after this, we're going to be using our else function, print f, or a fail f. So we have our code ready. Let's try it out. Oh yeah, we forgot to put input. Look at your error, guys. Errors just help you grow, to be honest. The more errors you get, the more. Oh, come on. Really? The more errors you get, the more you learn. Now it's the error. Invalid enter your grades. Oh, once again we did something wrong here. So we're gonna go ahead and change input to the inside and int to the outside. Let's start out now. I'm gonna be entering my grades as 70. So I got a C. Let's try with a 99. That's what I get all the time. I'm just kidding. Let's go ahead and put 65. 65 gets us a D. We're gonna be trying an else too, so we're gonna go and try 55. Oh man, I got an F. So we've been able to make a simple grade checker. Now before we move on, let's look at some of the basic uh, things in Python that we need later on. So we all know that this is the plus sign that we will use. This is the minus sign or the subtraction sign. Then there is the multiplication sign. This asterisk or star is what we're going to be using for the multiplication. Then for division we're going to be using this, and then there's this. Now you might think this is percentage, but in Python this can be percentage, but it's going to be used as a remainder. So suppose you type in 5 divided by 3, you're going to get a remainder of 2. So if you type 5 and then this sign, then 2, then that's going to be equal to 3, or vice versa. Now let's make an program to check if a particular number is even. Now, if you think about it, what is an even number? An even number is a number when you divide it by 2, you get a remainder of 0. So let's quickly make it out. So a number is going to be int input, enter your number. Then we can check if the number modulo 2, you can call this modulo or remainder, modulo 2 is equal to 0. You see, if the remainder is equal to 0, then we're gonna print the number is even. Now you might think we can use elif here. Elif the number remainder 2 is not equal to, remember the not equal to thing we used, equal to 0. Now this is not the best way to use it, because of course if a number is not even, then it's odd, so we can just use the else function, else, and we're gonna go ahead and print out the number is odd. The number is odd. Let's start out now. Our number is 5. The number is odd. Let's start out an even number, 6. The number is even. So we have made a simple program to check if a number is even or odd. Now let's recall what we did about functions last time, and let's get into a habit of using functions. Why? Well, initially I also didn't use functions, but later you will understand that functions help you really organize your code. So let's make the same program but with functions so that we can get used to functions. And let's ask again, what is your number, and go ahead, and then if is even. So we're going to make a function later on which is named as is even, and x, then print even, else print odd. Now we're gonna make the function which we have called on before but we didn't even make it, is even. Now you can type anything inside in here. You can type in x, but that just makes it confusing, so just type out n. If n, since we used n, mod remainder 2 is equal to 0, just like the last time. Print return. Remember the return that we used last time, so we got to use return again, because and we can return a boolean. As you know, boolean is either a true or a false. So if the remainder is 0, then we return true, else we return false. Do not get confused, guys. The old thing was good, but this is very useful for organizing our code. Let's try it out. And okay, so what happens in the code is we have made this function, but this function is being run through with x instead of n. So let's try out the code. X is equal to int input. Oh, we have forgot to call the function. So in the end, you gotta call out main. Let's try it out now. My number is 7. 7 is our number. And let's try out 8. Let's try out 8. 8 is an even number. So that worked out well. So thank you guys for seeing this video. Hope to see you again in many more videos. Subscribe, like, don't forget to comment as well. Thank you. It's your Digital Dojo signing off.